Hello, everybody. Andrew Blake from the digitalaudiomanual.com. Today, let's talk about some expression map workflows. So expression maps are a very useful tool on many different kinds of VST instruments because they provide you a way to easily change the articulations, which allow you to bring realism into your MIDI performances. For example, if I take this cello sound that I brought out of Iconica Sketch and open up the instrument, right in this area, we have what's called the articulations. And as I play that part and change these articulations, I can bring some real performance techniques in that represent what happens when somebody is really playing a cello. If we open this MIDI part up, we look down in this area where usually we can see the controller data. There's an option here that says articulations. And right now this is chosen, but you can see there's really nothing we can edit down here. It's pretty much a blank area. If we go up to the tab that says expression map, right now it says no map. Pretty much with most any Steinberg instruments, you'll already have maps in place. It's as simple as making a few clicks to get everything set up. If I hit this plus button next to the expression map setup, I get a dialog that shows the instrument and a checkbox saying import the key switches. If I hit OK, then an expression map dialog opens up, and all those key switches that we had on the instrument are now listed here in the map. And just like I changed them on the instrument before, now I can change them right here in the map. And now if we look down in the controller area, all those articulations are now listed down here as well, allowing us to simply take our pencil tool, and then on every lane of these articulations, we can draw in the direction that tells our notes to play that way. So what do you do if you're not dealing with a Steinberg VST? You have some kind of VSTs that currently have no map, or maybe you do have a Steinberg VST, but it just has no map. How and where do you begin to put something together on your own? What are some of the choices you have to make to get a map working? If I close this out, go back up to the tab where the expression maps are, and I hit this plus button, coming back to this Add Expression Map dialog box. If I turn off this import key switches, because at this time there are no key switches to import, let me give this a new name. I'll just call it New Map Test and hit OK. Now we have this blank slate. So let's talk about some of the options and strategies if we need to build something like this for ourselves. You want to begin by asking yourself, what are you trying to accomplish with your map? If we go back to our cello instrument inside of Iconica Sketch and Halion, let's say once again we want to trigger these various articulations. We want to set up a map that'll choose these different articulations at different points when we want to hear them. We look at this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different articulations that we want to be able to activate. So let's go back to our map. And the first place to start is in this area that says add a sound slot. These sound slots are kind of your launching point. And because we have these 7 different articulations, we're going to add 7 different sound slots. So I click the plus button, and we could try to find our instrument in this list. But if we just hit OK, we're given this kind of generic slot. In this case, it shows number 1. It says the default slot. As we move along, you can see something that looks like other information. We're just going to go this way to start with, and we're going to put 6 more of these in here. If I come down below, I have a plus button so I can add more sound slots. When I hit that, the process just begins again. So I hit OK, and I'm going to continue to do this until I get 7 different slots here. The next thing to do is give these some kind of name to help us identify what we're working with. If I go back to my instrument again, I can see all these names for staccato, pizzicato, spiccato, sustain, legato, tremolo, and the sustain vibrato. And because I want to trigger each one of these are the names I'm going to use. And all I have to do to add the name in is double click on this and then type in the name. In this case, I'm going to put in sustain, hit enter, and then continue this process for all these different names. That one I'll call staccato and carry on to the end here. Now I can see I have all my names entered correctly. The next thing to do, if we go over here on the right, we have these columns that say articulation and trigger. Beginning with the trigger, Once again, we have to go back and look at our instrument, and we can see above each one of these articulations is a specific note. Above staccato, it says C0. Above the pizzicato, it says C#0. And on it goes up the list. These remote notes are what needs to be sent to actually make these articulations light up. In other words, once this synth receives a C0, it's going to light up the staccato. Once it receives a C#0, it's going to change to a pizzicato. Going back into our map, we want to assign these trigger notes so we can get that process going. Now, the great thing with any of these maps, this applies to things like drum maps or these expression maps, you don't necessarily have to have the key to start with that you're going to actually end up with. For example, if I had some kind of MIDI controller that could only send out C4, D4, E4, and things like that, but I needed to actually trigger C0 and D0, that's the great thing about these maps is that you can start with whatever you have, but as we go along, you're going to see how we can reassign it to actually accomplish any other note. In this case, I'm just going to use the same notes to start with to be the same notes that we end with, just to keep it simple as possible. On my synthesizer, I can see that staccato has this trigger note of C0. If I choose this staccato articulation at the top of the list and come over to the trigger column and double click on it, it actually turns on this area where I can just simply hit a note on my keyboard and that will assign the trigger note. So if I locate C0 on my keyboard and hit that, it assigns it into the trigger column. And I can continue to do that for all these other slots. I'm going to hit pizzicato. That needs to be C#0. I double click. I hit C#0 on my keyboard and it's assigned. So now I continue going through all of these and setting up these trigger notes. As I assign all these different trigger notes, I get a visual picture on this little virtual keyboard that shows these notes have now been assigned. If I look over at my expression map tab and play any of these keys now, they're triggering these various articulations. So now I've set up basically some kind of remote control between my keyboard and this expression map. So what we've accomplished here is a way to change these slots now from my keyboard or whatever my MIDI input device is. But if I go to my actual instrument, although I can control the slots, the instrument is still not making any change. In other words, these articulations are not responding to whatever I'm changing on these slots. And that leads on to another leg of our journey with many more things to learn and understand, and we're going to pick that up next time. And if you're looking to learn about all the different details of expression maps, as well as many features and functions in Cubase, be sure to click the link in the description of this video so you can get your free preview copy of the digital audio manual. This allows you to look over all the topics that are there waiting for you to help move you closer to being an expert, or stop by the digitalaudiomanual.com for more information. As always, it's great to have you here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.